uh, sorry. Okay. So the remote control, sort of made its way to these devices. And the early use was mostly, for warfare and all of that. One second, my screen stuck. Yeah. Then, India for the first time used Israeli drones, in the Kargil war. So this was around this period. And this story of civil drones started somewhere around 2007. This is, around, and in India also, a couple of, young students in IIT Bombay started working on this technology. So, how many of you have seen this movie, Three Idiots? We got the first glimpse of drones in this movie.
Yes, sir. I have.
Sir,
Yeah,
me.
awesome, awesome. So you can see, this. Do you recognize this hero here?
Yes, sir. I'm Ikram.
Perfect. Okay, so the drone that he's holding is, so when the Rajkumar Hirani, who's the director of this movie, was doing a little bit of research on the script. So he happened to visit IIT Bombay. So IIT Bombay had these three students, Ankit Mehta, Rahul Singh, and Ashish Bhatt, working on drones. So this is the drone that he's holding here is a drone made by them. And, you all would be, happy to know that Ankit Mehta, Rahul Singh, and Ashish Bhatt today have a drone company which is worth $50 million. The name of the company is Idea Forge. So, this is a little bit of history. And then subsequently, and there's also another interesting, event that happened. In 2014, a pizza shop in Mumbai, delivered a pizza using drones, and which led to the government banning civil drones in India completely. I'll just quickly show you all that video and then we'll talk more about it. So basically, this video was made way back in 2014. And did you all find anything objectionable in this video? Anything which would really alarm the government to sort of ban the drones?
So they can use this for anything. Like they can use it to spy on offices, important places.
Right. Anyone
The
else?
fact that
Like they can drop bombs.
Right.
We already used that.
Yeah.
the fact that anyone anywhere can start a drone and use it for whatever purposes they want.
So it can interfere with like aircraft patterns and everything.
Correct. Correct. So, everything that you guys said is right. The government realized that, they do not have any rules or regulations for drones in India, where they cannot, promote the use or prevent any misuse. So this video went viral, or rather popular, became very popular, and the government was alarmed and they put a blanket ban on the use of drones in India. And then after that, sorry. It became legal to fly drones in India only in the year 2018 after that. And since then, and drones, civil commercial drones have made a lot of progress. And the year 2020, we know it as the year of the pandemic. But in 2020, drones proved to be very, very useful for the government. There was a nationwide lockdown. So the government used the drones to enforce the lockdown, where they would fly a drone and see where, if there's crowding happening anywhere. Then there were also announcements being used by, putting megaphone on drones and flying them at low altitudes. And also for sanitization, some drones could spray and sterilize places and so on and so forth. So, 2020 was a very good year for the drones. So that's a little bit about the history of drones.
Fantastic. I think since then, what began in warfare, and guys, we've seen most of the technological advancements first begin in the defense departments, or they begin with the intent of war, but somehow they trickle into the better purposes. Gaurav, what is your favorite use case of drone usage, something that's close to your heart?
Okay. So there's a little story behind it, Sunita. So way back in 2015, I did a flight from Goa to Bangalore, where we transported an organ from where the donor was in Goa and the recipient was in Bangalore. And it was a heart in a box. And it was a very time-sensitive, time-critical operation. And we got priority for takeoff and everything, So we, as soon as we received the organ, we quickly lined up, took off, flew normal, faster than normal speeds. And just when we were approximately 10 minutes to land, the air traffic control at Bangalore told us that, guys, there is a 50% chance of you guys today, landing at Bangalore, because this was winters and fog was setting in, and they said the visibility is dropping really fast. So we requested the air traffic control to put the, approach lights and runway lights at maximum. We increased our speed. And somehow we were able to make a landing. And after we parked the aircraft, all operations came to a standstill. There was thick fog in Bangalore. And that was the first time ever, it made me realize the importance of medical logistics. I'd never thought about the scenario at all. So there is a company called Zipline, based out of California, where they've sort of, worked, and they are the pioneers of this technology. I'll play a short video and then we'll talk more about it.
Sure. In the does it have some audio, because the last video didn't play the audio?
Oh, really? Okay, I'll see if I can.
Just we can check. Yeah.
Okay. Are you guys getting the audio?
No.
No.
Actually, in Zoom there is an option that says you can
with audio.
enable.
Sir, share computer sound.
Terrain to get to a rural village can take hours, even though it's a very short distance.
Today, if a mother is giving birth and suffers from postpartum hemorrhaging, her life is dependent on getting a blood transfusion.
There are many different types of blood types. They have a limited shelf life. And the challenge is, when you need blood, you need it immediately. But it is unpredictable which geography that will occur in.
Hospitals that are in more remote areas can have a very hard time getting enough reliably supplied blood.
The time to order and get the supplies by truck is just too late.
There's no way that we can overcome the time that it takes to get anywhere during the rainy season. And people would say, okay, during the rainy season, we're just not going to make it.
The best case scenario, it would take at least 4 hours. But with Zipline, we are looking at cutting that 4 hours to something like 15 minutes.
It is a team of Rwandese who came together with Zipline to groom the project and to make it happen in Rwanda.
Their ultimate vision is to put each and every one of those 11 million citizens within a 15 to 35-minute delivery of any essential medical product that they could need. And that's a revolutionary idea for any country in the world.
The use of drones to deliver life-saving medical products can overcome the lack of road infrastructure. We need to let our imagination soar.
When you have a commodity, rare in supply, that might be an unusual blood type or something like a rabies vaccine, and you need it immediately, the idea that we could use a drone to be able to deliver this to the country is absolutely brilliant. There's nothing else that could do that in that way.
It is like we will no longer go around hills, but we fly over the hills.
We've pulled together a team from places like Boeing, SpaceX, Google, Lockheed Martin.
And it's an honor for Zipline to partner with the government of Rwanda.
We place a hub next to an existing medical warehouse, and it instantly enables that warehouse to make hundreds of deliveries per day to any location within range.
The doctor sends us their order by text, by phone call, whatever's convenient.
Somebody identifies the need and then prepares the package, puts it on a drone.
Then we take that vehicle and we put it through pre-flight tests. It's launched, it flies automatically out to the clinic.
The path has been already calculated, it's in the computer.
And then they'll receive a text message saying, Zip is 2 minutes away, please walk outside.
It drops the packet, somebody goes and collects it.
It turns around, it flies home, and then we get it ready for the next delivery.
Our service not only makes it possible, but also affordable for countries to deliver reliable access to essential medicines for all of their citizens.
What we are looking forward to see here is saving lives.
This isn't a small step forward. This is a transformational change to how we provide medical care to people across the world.
Fantastic. I think this opens our eyes, especially to all the urban population, the children, the adults, because whenever we think of technology, right, the first thing that has the wow factor is when technology is used for entertainment, when technology is used for luxury, when technology is used to drop a package through Amazon. But these are the use cases where it is actually affecting so many lives in such good ways. So this is an eye-opener. And in the video, when he said all this is affordable, I think now I understand why healthcare is your favorite use case.
Absolutely.
And to add to what you said, Sunita, the beauty is we are using the highest level of technology for the poorest country, because what we feel is technology is only for the affordable rich countries, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So, Captain, thank you for sharing this video with us, because it helps us to understand how technology can be used in real poor countries in these kind of use cases. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, Anand. And just adding to what you just said, urban, rural, and mountainous areas have their own challenges. Like, the urban areas may have very good road infrastructure, but the roads are congested. Rural areas lack infrastructure, and the mountainous areas have their own challenges. So drones can fly straight line paths, the shortest distance. So, and they can actually save life. If somebody has a snake bite and we need an anti-venom, which may not be available in the clinic where the patient goes to, we can quickly fly it in from, a nearby, if we have a good sort of network, medical logistics network, we can fly it from somewhere nearby and save a life.
Yeah, fantastic. Gaurav, can you take some use case and explain to us what are the various parts involved to make all this magic happen? Is it
all right?
Is it complex?
Okay. Let me try and do that.
Kiddos, after this question, we will open it up for Q&A for some time. Okay, I see a few people pinging me. Just give us a few moments.
Okay, so before I get started with the use case, let me quickly, discuss what a typical drone looks like. So basically, like I told you, drone comes in various shapes and sizes, but quadcopter, or it's called quadcopter because it has 4 rotors here, are the most popular and most versatile. So they have propellers. To drive the propellers, you've got motors here. Then this is called a payload. It could be a camera or some other type of sensor. Then these are the landing gears on which it makes the landing. And then there is a casing or a frame. And inside the frame, you have a flight controller, an RC receptor, battery, GPS module, and ESC or electronic speed control. Then to fly it, you have a RC controller, and then there could either be first person goggles or there could be a small screen here where you can see what the camera is looking at. So basically, so vertical asset inspection is one area where, drones really shine. So this is the picture of a cell phone tower, and right now, as we speak, we have about 4 million cell phone towers across the world. And as 5G comes in, this number is just going to shoot up. So all these towers are, there's a requirement to sort of, inspect them frequently. As part of preventive maintenance. And also if somebody makes a call, let's say we are having network issue, we call up the call center, and if there's no software glitch, that means there is something wrong physically in the tower and somebody needs to go up. So, to inspect the tower, it's a vertical climb. It takes the tall tower like this one, it takes the person almost half a day. Because the person climbs up slowly and then he has to wear a lot of protective gear. There is a fall arrest system. So the person has to wear all that harness and everything and then go up, and it takes him half a day to go up, and so on and so forth. So what the drones can do is, instead of somebody climbing up like this, you can send a drone to fly around this tower, and the drones can capture a lot of images. So typically, 1 second, screen's frozen. Yeah. So, when the drone flies around, it captures a lot of images, typically around 500 images. And then the best ones are chosen. Like you can see here, it says best fit. It's not very clear. And there is so these images, the 50 bests are chosen, and they're stitched together to form a digital twin. So this is a digital twin of the actual cell phone tower. And all the various assets that are installed on it, antennas, connectors, power boxes, so on and so forth, they're all sort of marked out. And also the tilt of the tower, you can see a purple line here. So you can measure the tilt as well. So, so basically when we have call drops and, a problem associated with load, data speeds and all that, either the azimuth is gone bad or there's something wrong with the downward tilt, which could be because of the weather effect, high speed winds and stuff like that. So they tend to shake and move the antenna a little bit. So broadly, if we look at the process involved is, somebody goes, flies the drone, captures the images, rather than climbing up, which is the traditional way of doing it. One can go and fly a drone. So what would otherwise take about 4 to 5 hours takes only about 25 to 30 minutes to capture the data. Then, this data is transferred onto a computer, and then, the process to create a digital twin starts, where we pick up the best 50 images out of the 500 that have been captured, and those are stitched together and a digital twin is created. Then there is another team which understands cell phone tower inspection. So then those people go through these images. It can also be done through an AI software. But so this team kind of analyzes all the pictures, and makes notes on it. If they see anything like any corrosion or any loose contact in any of the harnesses, they annotate that and create a report out of it. And then this report is shared. So there is a customer facing team after that, which shares this report with the customers. And then accordingly, preventive or necessary remedial action is taken to fix the problem.
Got it. So there are so many components coming into play, which means just to make one use case happen, you need people who have knowledge on the industry, in this case, cell phone towers functioning, somebody to design what sort of data the drone is going to collect. Is that a heat sensor? Is it a camera? How many pictures it should take? And merging all the pictures together is what the software engineers or techies would do. Some algorithm to present it, analyze, and somebody to fly the drone. So this is like an interdisciplinary function. So this leads to a very interesting question. It opens up a lot of job opportunities, not just job, I should say career opportunities than just job. So before we get into the technicalities, can you share what the future prospect and the current prospects look like for careers in drones?
Okay, I think the best way to do that is is probably show you the drone ecosystem in India.
Okay.
So is the screen visible where it says drone manufacturers?
Yeah.
So it's visible.
Oh God. Okay. Yeah. All right. So this is how the drone ecosystem looks like. So there are some companies. So right now, there are close to about 500 startups working on this technology. Everybody working in, on some unique use cases. So there are drone manufacturers.
So you're saying there are already 500 odd drone manufacturers?
Yes. So there
already,
are 500.
fantastic.
And, like this Throttle Aerospace, they're based out of Bangalore. So are Asteria, Red Wing. These are all Bangalore-based companies, RF. And like the use case that we saw, the medical logistics, this Red Wing Labs is making something similar to a zipline, in India. Then there are RF unmanned systems. They are trying to map out rural areas. So the land records in rural areas are very hazy, which people don't know and can't identify their land very well. So drones are being used to fly at low altitudes, create very high accuracy maps, and people are being given property cards now. Then there are the Tatas, the DRDO, Skylark makes amazing softwares besides drones for, various use cases. Then Idea Forge is the company that I was talking about, the Three Idiots. This is the company here. Then there is Sagar Defense. They make docking and charging stations for drones. Maruti is into agricultural drones. Then we have the Tech Mahindra, the L&T. These are all very big corporates, Adani's. So we've got manufacturers. Then there are more companies. I can show you more, but we'll switch to the next one. Then there are some companies which, India being an agricultural country, drones can do a lot in terms of agriculture. They can do soil mapping, and they can do spraying, and they can also collect a lot of the health monitoring of the crops and so on and so forth. So plenty of stuff can be done using drones. So there are some companies which are focusing solely on agricultural use case. Then there are companies which are focusing on providing drones as a service. So they don't sell drones, they make and they provide service. Like, for example, this company called Quidish, they don't sell drones, they make their own drones. And they are the ones who used it for, the IPL telecast. I'll show you what was done in a little bit. So, yeah, so there are drone as service companies. So these are all the companies which provide drone as a service. And then there are training institutes. This is our company here, Clear Skies. So plenty of companies which are providing training or designing training solutions. Then UTM stands for, unmanned traffic management. So once you have a lot of drones up in the sky, somebody will need to sort of, control those drones so that they don't collide into each other. And they don't fly over places where they're not supposed to be flying, which are restricted areas and so on and so forth. Then Paras again is doing something very interesting. They're making parachutes for drones. So let's say a drone, I'll just try and increase the size of it a little bit if I can. No, I can't. Okay, so the picture that you see here on the right, they make parachutes for drones. So let's say a drone runs out of battery completely, or there's a total power failure, it will fall like a stone. That can be massive depending on the size and weight of the drone. So they make parachutes so that comes down, if there is a sort of senses a free fall, the parachute opens up and they come down in a controlled way. Then there are some companies which are working on the military drone technology, data management softwares. Then drone insurance is another upcoming area. Counter drone.
So insurance is already trickled into drone.
Oh yes, yeah. So because very soon the government. So right now in the cities we don't see too many drones because it was not allowed by regulation to fly drones close to people, vehicles, and buildings. But now slowly, as the technology is getting better, government is easing the norms. So we need insurance because if the drone falls on something, then people will claim damages. So all that will happen. Counter drone technology, again, there's a story I'll tell you guys about it. Counter drone is, in case this is to, control rogue drones. If somebody is trying to cause some damage or trying to enter into a military area or something, so those drones can be neutralized using this counter drone technology. And a lot of venture capitalists, corporate investments, hardware and marketplace, regulatory bodies. So you can see there are a whole lot of people working on the drone technology. Then these are air taxi companies. So we are around 3 years away from the first drone taxi. So like I'm sitting in, the Hebal area right now. You guys are in South Bangalore. So 3 years down the line, we'll be able to. Right now, it'll take us, if we have to meet, if I have to come that side, it'll take me about 55 minutes to 1 hour. I can take a drone taxi and be there in 10 minutes, maybe. So
you're saying it's just 3 years away from now?
It's just 3 years away.
Oh,
yes. So
fantastic.
This company, ePlane, is incubated in IIT Madras. And I also know of another company besides these two called Bonvi. And they have their iron cage model ready. They'll be testing it out in February.
Fantastic.
So, and then they will go for certification. So as you can see, there are a lot of companies, and there are all the IIT Madras, IIT Kanpur, IIT Hyderabad, IISc Bangalore. They're all working on drone technology. So basically, you can also look at all these people as employers, potential employers, because all these companies, the regulatory bodies, as the drone ecosystem is growing, every company associated with drones is growing, and they need a lot of people, for the various job roles that are being created. And these job roles are brand new, they did not exist before. So like a drone pilot, a drone operator, so something like that.
Got it.
Yeah.
So kids, do you want to just do some Google search and tell us right now, currently, roughly, or take a guess, how many drone jobs or careers, job roles, job openings are there as we speak? Can somebody Google and either chat or unmute? And
you can Google on Naukri. Naukri's got the maximum listings.
Oh, Naukri, yes, why not? Let's see.
Ma'am, can you repeat your question? I didn't get
Arjun, if you can check on Naukri.com, how many drone job openings are there?
Ma'am, 33384.
Which is what?
Naukri.com drone jobs openings.
No, tell in terms of thousands, hundreds. What is it?
33,000.
3,384.
33,000.
33,000.
33,384.
33,000 job openings already. This is, guys, as Captain was talking to us, this is just the beginning, okay? Imagine 6 years from now when all you tiny tots will be doing something great, because all the young minds here, Gaurav, I forgot to tell you, these are some of the best minds, okay?
Wow.
So guys, when 5 to 6 years from now, the number would increase, right? That's fantastic news. So we'll just take a pause here. before we get into the types of career openings. Kids, question to Captain. Any question you have, you can unmute and start asking.
Yeah, so can I?
Captain, can you just stop sharing just for a bit so you look at the person who's asking the question?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, Rehan, question?
Sure, ma'am. So I actually have two questions, sir. So my first question is, so like, why aren't there drones in Bangalore as of now? Like, if there are any, what are some obstacles associated with civil purposes?
Okay, so Rehan, till September this year, in urban areas it was not allowed to fly drones. Because and also so basically now it's allowed. There's a website called Digital Sky, where there you'll find interactive drone maps. So now we have drone maps available. So it's earlier you had to go to a police station to take a clearance to fly drone. Every time you wanted to fly a drone, you had to go to a police station. Now the government's made it very, very easy. So on 24th September, which is a couple of months back, government released a map which is called interactive map. So you can go to Digital Sky website and check it out there. And so now they've color coded all the airspace. So basically you will find red, yellow, and green. So green is an area where you can fly without a problem. So now going forward, you'll see a lot of drones, in your vicinity.
Hopefully, so. And my second question is, what kind of training does it take? For example, if I wanted to, let's say, go into a career to fly drones as a profession, what kind of training does it take to start professionally?
Okay, so as of now, you can, once you've attained the age of 18 and you've cleared your class 10, you can enroll in a drone pilot training course. And currently the drone pilot training course is only for 5 days. But, the government is also trying to sort of, introduce some more modules into the training. So going forward, it may be a longer course, but right now it's a 5-day course. And, again, you can go to the Digital Sky. So there are a lot of institutes offering, drone training. But you should check whether they are authorized or not. So again, that can be done on the Digital Sky platform. And once you scroll down, come to the bottom, you'll get FTOs and RPTOs. So FTO stands for Flying Training Organization. RPTO stands for Remote Pilot Training Organization. So if you click on that FTO, RPTO, you'll find the list of approved flying schools. So if you can enroll and get your training done. But to fly a drone, which is for recreational purposes, if you're not using it for commercial purposes, you don't need any training. Nano and micro, which is drones up to 2 kgs, you don't need a license if you're flying it for non-commercial purposes. Right?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So just a related question on Rehan's is, as you saw, it's not the career options are not just in as a drone pilot. You can be a software engineer actually analyzing and programming the drone, for which guys AI and machine learning, there are courses already, some for free, some paid on Coursera, Udemy, and some good training institutes providing that. Okay. And then there is, in general, right, you should have some industry-based training. So let's say Aditya Konkimalla here, is very interested in animal protection and environment conservation. Then, hey, what are the anti-poaching rules? How can you stop that? A lot of this knowledge and idea generation should happen for the right application of drones. So there are multiple disciplines. Captain, what are these CBSE or ICSE boards doing in terms of skill-based training or vocational skills that our young students might need, in the future to integrate it as part of the curriculum?
Right. I think to answer that, I'll share my screen once again.
Sure.
Just a second. Yeah. So basically, right now education system is not geared up for this technology. It's an emerging technology, a new technology. So that's where the Sector Skill Council has decided to step in and, sort of fill the gap which is there. So as part of the NEP, the new education policy which has come out, ICSE and CBSE are interested in introducing drones as a vocational training subject. And I mean, kids might not know this, but Sunita ma'am helped me make a presentation to the CBSE board for introducing, drones as a vocational training subject. So CBSE has already started thinking on those lines.
Oh, yes. Come on, guys.
Yeah. Thank you, Sunita, for that. And also, like I mentioned that, we signed an MOU with the Sector Skill Council. So we've designed a certificate course, which is for 18-year-olds again. So those of you, who've turned 18 can enroll in this course. We'll be starting batches from our batches. January batches are full, February we'll start. So where we give an overview of the drone technology, and also, tell you about the various employment and entrepreneurial opportunities. Like, it's very easy to become an entrepreneur as well. You buy a photography drone and, and get your pilot license, and you could do some freelancing photography work. A lot of digital media content right now, you can see some very unique shots and angles and all of that. So those are being done using drones. So lots of opportunities opening up. So this is one way of doing it. Also, in the colleges, going forward, we will see courses, again, elective courses on drone technology. And slowly in the next few years, you may also see a complete degree course, full degree course on drones.
Got it. Fantastic. In the meantime, will there be anything in the near future for the kiddos to really come feel and understand some sort of a drone 101 course for the youngsters? Even
okay, yeah. So people who are not eligible for this one, the younger lot, we are setting up a drone training facility in North Bangalore, and which should be operational by April. And once we are closer to going live, I'll let you know, and then we can probably have a picnic there where people can come and fly the drones, touch, feel, fly, experience,
fantastic.
and yeah. And we'll make it like a picnic. So we'll have some food there. Yeah. So some food stalls and all of that.
Good. Thank you.
So this will be around the summer vacation time.
Yeah, it's good timing.
Yeah, Sunita, one observation that I have, and I wanted to check with Captain also.
Yeah.
Let's see, many of us right now, this is like I should not say emerging technology. It is already started happening, but yes, it is the
nascent. In its nascency.
Yeah. It is in the nascency. It's still evolving. So now, camera capturing the images and the use case that you said about preventive maintenance of mobile towers. That seems to be right. If I am a mechanical engineer, if I am electronics engineer, if I am into heat and thermodynamics, right? Once I finished my formal education, I might be able to come up with many other use cases like thermal imaging, right? And then see that, I have learned drones and how drones work, and now I've got a core field. Now I can tie these things together and solve some practical problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
So a lot of such opportunities are still left for our imagination.
Very much.
Correct. In fact, Anand, I think in August, we had an interaction with the ABB team. Now, ABB has a lot of these, high tension wires and all of those things, and some of which are located in very difficult terrain. So they find it difficult to do their periodic preventive maintenance. So they were looking at drones as a possibility to sort of, improve the efficiency of the organization, where you could attach a thermal, sensor at the bottom of a drone and fly near the high tension wires, which will give you a very good idea of the health of those wires.
Yeah, fantastic. Kids, yes, go unmute and ask your question to Captain.
Yes, sir. Actually, I have two questions. So when you started your career as a pilot, how did it go? You just become a captain for any and fly a plane. So what was the transformation? Like, what are the steps that you followed?
Okay, so to become a commercial pilot, you have to enroll again in a flying school, and and there are various licenses which are associated with some milestones. Some you need to study a lot, so you clear some exam, and then you get a student pilot license. Then you gain a little bit of more experience. You clear some more exams. Then you get a private pilot license, and to be able to get a job, you need to have a commercial pilot license. So, which is when you have completed 200 hours of flying training, passed some papers, and covered some syllabus and passed some exams, which are both theory as well as practical skill exams. That's how you become a pilot. Yeah.
So are there any stages like for police officers, there's detective, sergeant, lieutenant, captain, commissioner.
Okay.
So for a pilot, what are the stages?
Okay, so you start off as a trainee pilot, and once you get into an airline, they will take you again as a trainee pilot. So basically, most of the training that you do is on a smaller plane. Yeah. So once, let's say you join a SpiceJet or an Indigo, they fly bigger aircrafts. Now, from small aircrafts, you'll have to transition to a bigger aircraft. So again, you'll have to do a lot of training. So during that time, you'll be taken in as a trainee pilot once again. You will train on the bigger aircraft, and then you'll become a supernumerary, where you sit in between, like there are two pilots sitting, co-pilot and the pilot. There is a jump seat, a seat in between. You sit there, you observe, you see what's happening in the cockpit, what are the job roles and all that. And then you are again, made to do another round of training to become a co-pilot. So initially you become a co-pilot, so you can start off as a second officer, then become a first officer, and then you become a senior, co-pilot, and then you become a captain. And then once you become a captain, then there is career progression. Then you start training. Once you have enough experience, you can teach other pilots. So then you become a line training captain, an instructor, an examiner, and so on and so forth.
Got it. Thanks. One of our, one person in the entire Cogitalks batch told, when we asked career discussions, there's one student who said, you know what, I want to become an entrepreneur. So where is Josen? He pinged me the question. Josen, shoot your question to Captain.
Yes, ma'am. So, sir, how is a pilot journey different from an entrepreneur's journey? I just wanted to know that.
So pilot, you fly planes, and as an entrepreneur, you manage a company. So there's a lot of difference. So the major difference for me, and I'll tell you from experiences, once you have a job, you're used to your salary coming at a certain time. End of the month, your salary comes. You do a certain job, and when you're an entrepreneur, you have to wait for some time, before you see some results. So you'll have to wait. It's like planting a tree or planting a seed. You have to be very patient. You have to keep doing the right things. Initially, you may not see the evidence of it. Once you plant a seed, you keep watering it, expecting that it will grow. You don't open it every day and see, something happen. You'll end up killing. So you need a lot of patience to be an entrepreneur. So you have to just keep watering it, keep doing the right things. And when the season is right, you'll get the fruits, or you'll see something coming out of the
Thank
ground.
you, sir.
Most welcome. Most welcome.
Yes, others, go ahead. Adya, there are many people who raised their hands for questions. Go
Hello, sir.
Hi,
So how can we extract the temperature range? Can we extract the temperature range from a thermal image from the drone?
Oh yes, you definitely can. So if you Google search, let me tell you about another conversation that I had with the rangers in Masai Mara. So Masai Mara rangers have this problem, two problems, major problems that they are facing is in the forest is, one is poaching, the other one is forest fires. So, while trying to arrive at a solution for it, the best fit for the problems that they have, we realized that a thermal drone, a drone which has a thermal sensor at the bottom would work very well. Because, these poachers, people who go for poaching tend to hide in the bushes and under the trees and they all that. But if you fly a drone, all of us have heat signatures. So, it can still capture. And similarly, when there is a fire in the forest, depending on the gradient of where the heat is maximum, you can actually pinpoint and say, okay, this is the origin of the fire. Then it's easier to, fight the fire once you know where the origin is. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
No, sir.
Yeah, based on the color
Yes.
and the intensity, you can design software, or you will know what temperature it is.
Absolutely.
Here comes in the physics. So physics, sir.
One observation or one point which I wanted to make to all these young kids and the audience in general is that, see, as students and as teachers, right? So far we are all trying to fit into a template. Like if I ask students, hey, tell me, man, now you're in 10th, you're going to go to 11th, do you have any ideas? What is it that you want to do? Most of the times the answers that we get are very conventional in nature, right? These kind of talks, I believe, help us and help the children to say that, there are a lot of new things that are happening, and our career choices can be made by looking at what are the evolving things that are around us, what is the ecosystem that we are living in, isn't it? That's the first thing which I wanted to make. And the second point is that no longer should we be very scared of following something off track. Like, for example, you say that after 12th, what you want to do? I want to go into IITs. I want to go into some very regular
stereotypical choices.
Stereotypical thing. But these kind of talks, these kind of questions makes me to want to go back to 20s and do something, really imaginative and this thing in the So good kids.
Yeah, guys, shoot the questions, unmute and speak. Leon, you have a question? Somebody, 3-4 people raised their hands. Let me check. Go ahead, guys.
Sir, how after one flight, how tiring would it have been? And what was your longest flight?
Okay, so basically, I think you're talking about the commercial pilot flying. So
yes,
so it is a little tiring. Your normal duty hours are somewhere around 10-11 hours of duty, and for 5 to 6 days a week. But you're given adequate rest between flights. Depending on how long your duty has been, your rest period is accordingly calculated with a minimum of 14 hours, 45 minutes between flights. The longest duty that I've done is when I was doing a rescue mission. There was a cyclone in Muscat called Cyclone Gunu. Early 2000, I think 2004, 2005, where we were trying to evacuate a lot of people out of Muscat. So I think and all rest and duty rules were waived off to rescue people from, especially Indians, since I was flying for Air India. So we were rescuing Indians out of Muscat because there was an acute shortage of food and water, and there was a lot of damage caused by Cyclone Gunu. So I think 2 days, and I don't know how many hours of sleep. I barely slept in 2 days. So we were doing flights and then sleeping at the airport, and again, as and when we had enough passengers, we would undertake another flight. And so it was 48 hours back to back, multiple flights.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Cool. Shrihan, you have a question, Shrihan?
Sir, which planes did you fly?
So I'm qualified to fly 10 different types, but the ones that the airlines use, I can fly the two popular ones, the Boeing 737 and the
Airbus
Airbus
A320.
A320, yes.
Oh, somebody, you have a spokesperson. Fantastic. Okay.
Sir, I really like planes.
Okay, nice, Shrihan. Arav, what's your question, darling? Okay, no problem. Okay, Arav, carry on. So, guys, Gaurav, we'll get back.
Ma'am, can
Yeah. Yes, Bhavika.
Sir, before the age of 18, are we allowed to buy a drone for just photography purposes?
Yes, you can. You can buy and you can also fly before the age of 18 if you're not using it for commercial purposes. Like if you're not earning any money or generating any revenue from it, for your own hobby purposes, you can do that.
So is there any drone that you recommend for us? Because I'm very interested in drone photography. So is there any company or so any type of drones that you recommend?
Okay, so the DJI drones and another, so there are two companies. One is
DJI
Parrot.
Phantom 4.
Yeah, so DJI, and then another company called Parrot, which is they have an Anafi series. So DJI and Phantom are really good. Sorry, not DJI and Parrot are really good.
But I thought you need a license for the Phantom.
Yeah, so if see up to 250 grams, you don't need a license. If you buy a small drone,
the mini versions of Phantom.
Yeah, it's called nano.
Nano,
so
yeah,
nano. Nano. If you restrict yourself to nano weight category, then there are no problems.
Okay, and one more thing, sir. Did Captain I forgot his name.
Gopinath.
Gopinath. Yeah, did Captain Gopinath? His goal was to provide affordable airline, right? Airlines for anyone, right? So
Right.
was his goal an entrepreneur, or was it like a pilot or an engineer?
No, he was an entrepreneur. His goal
He
was
was an
not to fly.
entrepreneur.
Yeah,
He didn't
he's
have any
still an
experience
entrepreneur. Yeah, he's still an entrepreneur. He is still thinking of a lot of ideas. Maybe we might see another airline.
But it shut down, right? Deccan, eh?
So it didn't shut down. It was bought over by Kingfisher, Vijay Mallya.
But now Kingfisher is gone, so
Kingfisher is shut down.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. We'll get into those stories on another day. So coming back, see, Captain, this raises another important thing. So each one here, okay, Bhavika gets a drone, Leon gets, Anand gets one, I get one. Decides what's how.
Me too.
Right? One, yeah. Everybody, whoever raised it. Who decides what's right, what's wrong, what are the regulations, what are the laws? There's this whole thing around it. So can you discuss some details on it?
Yes, please. So I'll share my screen once again. So see, there is a department dedicated to it. We call it the Drone Directorate. It comes under the Directorate General of Civil Aviation. So they are the ones who make all the rules and decide all the do's and don'ts. Directly related to maintenance, all various aspects, like how would you manufacture one, how would you maintain one, what will be the qualification for if you want to become a pilot, what is to be done in case the drone crashes, how would you import and export a drone if you make a drone in India and you want to export it. So all those are mostly DGCA looks after all this, the Directorate General of Civil Aviation and the Drone Directorate under them. But they are also supported by another 9 ministries and 9 different departments, anything to do with safety, any security concern, safety concern. Then the Ministry of Defense comes in, and Ministry of Home Affairs comes in. So there are a lot of departments that do it, but directly, drones come under the purview of the Directorate General of Civil Aviation. So I was asked about, can you all see this map here?
Yeah.
I think I spoke about this. So this again was prepared by DGCA, which gives you all the green zones, the red zones. The red is where you're not supposed to fly. Greens is where you can fly. So, so this was prepared by DGCA, with the help of all the different departments. So activities like this is all coordinated by DGCA.
Got it. And in which case, when you spoke about counter drones, how does this whole counter drones thing work? How do you identify which is the wrong one? How to tackle those?
So that's a good question, Sunita. And, just like a knife, you can use it to stab someone or chop vegetables. It all depends on who's holding it. The drones can be used for doing good things and bad things. It all depends on who's flying it. So going forward, the counter drone is going to be a very, very big thing. So in this picture, you can see, a lot of sensitive installations like and places like defense cantonment areas, the Rashtrapati Bhavan, various airports. They are going to be covered by these invisible domes. I'm so sorry, I'm using drones and so they'll be covered with this invisible dome. Any drone that tries to come too close and penetrate this will be neutralized using soft kill or hard kill methods. So very recently, Katrina Kaif got married. So there was counter drone technology used for their wedding as well. So this is India Today. It says drones around Katrina Kaif, Vicky Kaushal's wedding venue will be shot down if spotted. So counter drone was used very recently for this wedding.
Got it. Fantastic. I saw Rohan raise his hand. Rohan, you have a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, go ahead.
So it's a bit of a personal question, sir. What made you choose being a commercial pilot over a fighter pilot?
Okay. So I was always interested in, being a commercial pilot. I wanted to fly people and not kill people. So probably that was probably made me become a commercial pilot. Yeah.
Cool.
Is there a difference between flying a jet and a normal commercial plane?
So most of the commercial planes are jet planes, So yeah.
No, I'm talking about the army ones, which kill people.
Oh, so basically,
I mean, before we all start saying army ones only kill people, guys, first they defend. So
yeah, I know they don't.
I'm just
saying it like that.
First is they kill because they have to defend us. And
correct.
Kudos for that. Kudos to all the people.
Correct. It's for a good cause, basically. Yeah.
I think to answer that question, you have to go through armed forces, the NDA and CDS. You have to write their examinations. You have to get selected in the particular field, and then they will be trained. And that training is a lot about maneuverability and how to save yourself from this thing. So a lot of tactics and this will be there. There, the criteria will be a lot more stringent. Your reflexes and the whole process of taking the people, training them will be different. You'll have to first clear those exams.
Yeah.
That's correct. It's a totally different mindset. And even in the armed forces, you have different kind of planes. Not all planes that the armed forces fly are fighter planes or combat planes. There are transport planes which are used in search and rescue missions. Then there are helicopters and so on and so forth. So they also have different types. And the army also has a lot of drones. Now the drone fleet is expanding by the day.
Fantastic. Chirayu, your question?
Yes, sir. So like a car has to go undergo a crash test, is there any test for a drone to get to know its reliability or safety?
So that's a good one, Chirayu. Actually, right now, India doesn't have that crash test system as yet. But as the technology is evolving, we'll have one very soon. So there are two bodies working on, the manufacturing standards. So this will be part of the manufacturing standards. So there is Bureau of Indian Standards, which is working on developing these standards. And there is also QCI, Quality Council of India, which are working on, making the standards for drones.
Got it.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Gaurav, we have Satvik, who's the youngest participant, grade 2. Satvik, do you have a question for Captain? If you're still there, Satvik. Guys, do you see Satvik around?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Satvik. You don't have a... Okay, darling. Okay, I just wanted to check on you. Okay, cool. Monica, yes, you have a question. Go ahead.
Ma'am, for the photography purposes or video making purposes, when we buy a drone, does it need to follow the regulations of the red,
green and all?
Yes, Bhavika, you need to follow the rules at all times. So before you get the drone airborne, you have to go to that website, which I told you, the Digital Sky, check on the interactive map, whether the place where you're standing comes in the red, yellow or green zone.
So if we fly it near our home or in the backyard, is it fine?
So you'll have to check whether your home is in the green zone or the yellow zone. You know, when you open that map, it'll take your present location by default. So you stand there and see whether it shows a yellow or a red or a green. If it is in the green, then there's no problem.
So what does yellow indicate?
So yellow has 2 yellows. Let me pull out a slide now.
Looks like these guys are serious, Gaurav. From tomorrow, a lot of things.
I know. I don't have a photo here. Let me see when I discuss. Okay, let me open that. That site right now on that Digital Sky notes.
It's down.
No, it's
laggy.
not
No
actually
issues.
down. It takes a lot of time for
to
that
load.
map to load.
Yeah, just in the question of time, I don't want to miss out the ones who are raising their hands from some.
Yeah, I can continue to take questions.
Yeah, Hari, what's your
loads
question?
up.
Ma'am, so like, how do they like decide which is in the yellow zone and which is in the green zone? Like, what determines that?
Okay. I think then I need to open this. This will automatically clear a lot of doubts.
Yes.
So this is the interactive map that I've been referring to. It's made by
You have to, Gaurav, you have to share your screen.
Oh, sorry. I thought everybody's able to see it. Sorry. So this is an early version of the map, so it's a little laggy, but the Map My India team, Rohan is the CEO of Map My India. So Rohan and his team are actively working to fix this issue. It's already been reported to them that the map takes a long time to load. Okay, so this is how the map looks. So let me remove all this first and show you. So this is Bengaluru, right?
Yes.
Okay, now let me put some more layers onto it. So these 3 red spots that you see here are the 3 airports. This is the Captain Gaurav International Airport. This is Yelahanka, and this is the HL Airport, right? So area around the airport up to 5 kilometers is red, right? Then the next one is between 5 and 8 kilometers, and 8 to 12 is the next yellow. So let's say you are in this green here, there is no problem. You can fly up to 400 feet without a problem. In the first yellow, you can fly only up to 200 feet, because the aircraft takes off from here. It is slowly trying to gain altitude. So the idea is to separate the drones from the aircrafts to prevent any collision. So in the first, in the outer yellow, you can fly up to 200 feet, but you can't go beyond that. If you're flying in the second, the inner yellow, then you need a permission from whichever authority is sort of in charge of this. So if you're getting into this one, then you need a permission from this airport authority here. And you can't normally go into the red if let's say, you really need to fly, then you need to take the permission from the central government if you want to fly into the red one. That's a long process.
Got it. So any place of national interest will definitely have a red, and around it the boundaries will be.
Yes. And these reds may not necessarily be airports. This
Correct.
could also be a military area.
Correct.
There are some testing sites where there is flying, those, what do you call, missiles are tested. So those are also marked as red. I'll show you some if I can. See, like this area here, this is where missile testing and firing happens. So it's over the sea, but it's red.
Got it.
And also, wherever we have critical installations like dams, and those places also, you will not be able to.
Yeah, I'm sure around Taj Mahal, so on. And
yes, Taj Mahal. There are about 11 such places. Which we were told as a pilot we couldn't fly over. One was Mathura Refinery, President House, Taj Mahal. Even planes you can't fly at 30,000 feet or whatever. You have to sort of circumnavigate or go around. That area. Yeah.
Got it. Thank you, Aditya. Your question. Aditya has raised his hand. Guys, let the questions flow.
So basically, do drones have to follow traffic rules just like cars or buses in the near future? Because there'll be air traffic will increase in the future because of the drones.
Correct, Aditya.
Sir, will they have to invent floating traffic lights?
No, so it will be digital signals. There'll be no lights because there is nobody to see those lights in the air. Those are unmanned vehicles.
Okay.
So those are all be through digital signals. So yeah.
So there will be a separate, air traffic control at various heights, various zones, and all of that will be in place.
And I think as you become a commercial entity, I mean, for non-commercial, it's fine. But as you become a commercial entity, you will have to have predefined flight plans, right? You can't.
Yes, for cargo deliveries, the government is thinking of the idea of drone corridors. In which drones can fly and in which aircraft
So
would
they're
not
going
be
to need a
allowed.
lot of ATC towers then.
Yeah, so basically there's, then you need to, Sunita, do we have time? Can I show them
Yeah, sure. Yes,
unmanned
please.
traffic management a little bit?
Yes, please. Yeah.
I'll play a video, that will make it. So Airbus is one company that is working extensively. There are many companies working with this idea of, unified air traffic management. But this one has made a very good video, Airbus. I'll just type Airbus ATM. Sure. Is any one of you hungry? I'm actually hungry now.
Oh,
let's use a drone to get some pizza.
Play those around.
Yes, sir. Except I live in 9th floor.
Airbus UTM is defining the future skies with.
Are you guys getting the audio?
Yeah. Yes.
Sir, that is a very fast drone.
Automated traffic services to enable new operations with new vehicles.
Our team started about 2 years ago, and it was based off of a dream. What could the future of our skies look like? Originally, we were an R&D group, and now we're starting to build real services for real aircraft and deploy those around the world.
It's incredible how fast the aerospace industry is moving. We've got new types of aircraft flying new types of missions. That's why we need a more scalable, integrated, future-proof air traffic management system.
So like this guy is saying, we need the new type of air traffic management, future-proof, there are new types of flying machines coming in, which fly new types of missions. So there's a huge mismatch in the performance capabilities and all of that. So yeah.
That's where UTM comes in.
We believe that we will not only be able to enable the new Airbus operations with the new Airbus vehicles, but we can also demonstrate that UTM is a business opportunity.
This market is developing incredibly fast, and even in just the last few months, now Airbus offers the ability for you to go and submit a flight plan and literally in seconds get approval for that flight plan and go out and fly. That's how quickly things are moving in this industry.
It's really exciting to be a part of Airbus because you get to tap into the expertise, the engineering excellence. It's really neat to be a part of a company with that type of reputation.
The purpose of what we're building at Airbus UTM is to serve pretty much everybody, because all of us have the opportunity to have our lives improved and changed with autonomous flight, in commuting, or emergency services, or cargo delivery. So while we're not building a single product that you're going to just buy and have, it's going to be a family of technologies and of solutions that we're going to use to create an entire industry.
So the aviation industry is built on safety. It is paramount, it is foundational, and so as we think about UTM services, while we want to be thinking about flexibility and future use cases, safety is at the baseline of everything that we do.
So today we're focusing on enabling drones to access the airspace in a safe and secure manner. As we get into the future, we want to think about how does that change when people are on board the vehicles, how does that safety bar change, and use a lot of this technology to support manned air traffic.
I think we have the unique opportunity to combine some of the best practices of both traditional aerospace and some of what has made Silicon Valley such a tech powerhouse in other aspects to really move ahead the entire aviation industry.
Fantastic.
So I hope this answers a few questions.
Yeah. So guys, before we end, okay, Captain, I want to ask you, we've heard of a lot of use cases, but what is one of the most fascinating use case for you?
Okay, so is my screen still visible?
No, sorry.
Okay, I'll share it.
You can share it again.
So I think, growing up, Sunita, we were all told that, rain and all these things are something that gods can do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and each mythology has their own rain and thunder.
Rain god. Yeah. That's
like
right.
Greek mythology has Zeus and Hindu mythology has Indra,
Yeah.
So, but what really fascinates me is that now you can use drones to create rain, and that too in the desert. So let me play this next video. So I was pretty amazed at this one, So this is probably one of the most fascinating use cases that I've come across.
The United Arab Emirates, parched from heat waves and an arid climate, is testing new technology to zap clouds with electricity to artificially create rain. Similar forms of cloud seeding have existing for decades. But the process has typically used salt flares and has come with concerns about the environment, expenses and effectiveness, according to the Desert Research Institute and CNN. So the UAE is now testing a new method that has drones fly into clouds to give them an electric shock to trigger rain production, the BBC and CNN have previously reported. The project is getting renewed interest after the UAE's National Center of Meteorology recently published a series of videos on Instagram of heavy rain in parts of the country. Water gushed past trees, and cars drove on rain-soaked roads. The videos were accompanied by radar images of clouds tagged #cloudseeding. The Independent reports recent rain as part of the drone cloud seeding project. The UAE has used other cloud seeding methods involving salt flares in the past. The UAE oversaw more than 200 cloud seeding operations in the first half of 2020, successfully creating excess rainfall, the national news reported. There have been successes in the US, as well as China, India, and Thailand. Long-term cloud seeding in the mountains of Nevada have increased snowpack by 10% or more each year, according to research published by the American Meteorological Society. A 10-year cloud seeding experiment in Wyoming resulted in 5 to 10% increases in snowpack, according to the state of Wyoming. The practice is used in at least 8 states in the western U.S. and in dozens of countries, the Scientific American reported. The UAE is one of the first countries in the Arab Gulf region to use cloud seeding technology, according to the National Center of Meteorology website. Martin Ambaum, a researcher who was part of the team.
Yeah, got it. Fantastic. So here's the cycle of human evolution, right? We invent technology. We sometimes use technology to make Earth, deteriorate in its environment, and then we use technology back to make it good again. So that cycle continues. Guys, before we end, I have a small challenge to announce. This is called the Cogitalk Drone Challenge. That is, you will think of a unique use case, okay? And you will present that use case in the form of a small Canva video. That is, if you know how to make video out of slides using Canva. If you don't, contact me. But we will open up entries for the challenge. You can either send it to me or publish it on Facebook or Insta and tag us. I'll send the details. The winner of this challenge, okay, you just have to imagine of a good use case, articulate that, present a video in less than 1 or 2 minutes. The best entry will get 1,000 rupees voucher from Sapna Book House. Or if you're not in Bangalore, some good place where you can get stationery, books, something for your learning purpose, 1,000 rupees voucher. So, the time is till January 10th. So you have a lot of time. Think, let the entries flow in. Okay. So if there are no more questions, first and foremost, thank you everybody and thank you, Captain. I think just academic excellence is not what this generation, seeks. If anybody has a passion out there, this is the best time to live. Guys, any passion you have, you can marry it with the right professional opportunity. The possibilities are immense. And the goal at Cogitair for Anand and I is to expose you to those possibilities. I hope this session really helped us do that. I'll send a survey form, give us feedback, and most importantly, tell us what such sessions or such topics you want to hear about. We'll make it happen for you. Right?
I think Sarita, Aryan has a question here.
Yeah.
So Aryan's asking, can air traffic control be completely automated? So Aryan, I think, that's the intent with UTM, to make it completely automated. Right now, we only have a couple of thousand aircrafts. But the moment, drones become more popular, we'll have a couple of lakh aircrafts, different types of flying machines. So manually, it will not be possible to control them. So everything is going to be automated and digitalized. And
one more thing, Sarita, if I may just say something, please share Captain Gopinath's number and email ID in the group, so that if any children, they want to reach out and say, hey, Captain, we want to talk to you about some training or advice, they can still reach out.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Sir, I'm not sure Captain could be able to do that.
Yeah, Captain is busy. I'll share, but what if they start asking, okay, which drone? How do I fly here? Yeah, we'll do that. But does that answer your question? Did Captain answer your question? Right?
That was Aryan. Yeah.
Aryan, sorry. Yeah. Cool. Fantastic. So thank you. Yeah, you still have questions, folks? Last 2 or 3 questions. Make it quick, guys, because Captain is hungry.
Yeah, Bhavika.
Bhavika, you had a question? Okay, no issues. So thank you.
Riba has a question, I think.
Riba, no, I think they raised their hand long time back. It just remains there.
Okay.
Guys, thank you everyone, and a special thanks to Captain for taking time out of his busy entrepreneurial schedule, and it was really wonderful. Forget the children. I am enlightened on so many things. Thank you everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. I really
Thanks,
enjoyed
guys.
this session.
Thank you, Captain.
Thank you,
All
ma'am.
right.
Thank you,
Okay.
Captain.
Thank you.
Round of applause for Captain.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Round of applause for Captain before you leave. Yes. Okay. Thank you.
I feel like a politician. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Captain.
Most welcome.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Bye.
Thank you, Captain.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Captain.
Thank you.
Only 3 of us are there now.
Yeah, I wanted that was fantastic. So, we owe you a couple of drinks and a dinner.
No, actually, this was probably one of the most interactive and one of the best webinars that I've had. Generally people don't talk, yeah, and they leave me to talk for half an hour. It becomes very monotonous. And I can just sit there like a sage
You
on
will
the
never
stage.
face that with us.
No, it is good to
We've given a
interact.
chance.
Yeah.
Because you said you are hungry, we are little, considerate. Otherwise, our kids would have engaged you till 5 o'clock in the evening.
Some kids before asking you are asking us, can I ask? After our permission, because they are also being a little, they can take more time of yours, but it's good. I think more than anything, this has been the max turnout, for cogiter and non-cogitarians. Hopefully this kickstarts many more such sessions for us too.
And see, one thing, Captain, is that Sunita has advertised in FB. We have actually budgeted and advertised for